Welcome, I'm the DeadwoodJedi. This is another Raid Shadow Legends video. I've got my coffee. It is day 12. Oh yeah, we're back at the Hobbit Cup today. Smog, it's taking the cake. It's a commenter of mine said, the Hobbit is all you need. I don't know how true that is, but that's what we're working with right now. Anyway, yeah, day 12. We're almost 2 weeks in. I got 500 energy coming up tomorrow. That's going to be pretty exciting. And we're continuing to progress, right? I don't know that we've done anything super major today, even though every day it seems like something really big is happening. And I suppose if we break it down, we could kind of get to that point. But yeah, well, let's kind of just do, kind of quick overview of where I'm at right now. My big thing, as I said before, I just want to get the next champion level 60, right? I got Venomage to 5-star. That was huge, so he could survive longer for whatever content I'm doing. And he's pretty intricate to my team, pretty integral. Like, it's not just the poisons, those are awesome. It's not just the heal reduction, but that's awesome. He's also bringing me decreased defense and decreased attack. And when his debuffs are landing, my team is being successful. So getting him up to 5-star was huge, and he's up to level 42 right now. He'll climb slowly. I don't really need to push it, but that's been absolutely massive for just all my stuff, right? Whether we're talking dungeons, potion keeps, clan boss, Doom Tower, he's been absolutely massive. So like a really good addition for my squad. And so right now my goal is to get, Elva up to 6-star. That's going to be a big boon. Not only do we start getting War Master procs once I get her, 6-starred, and that's going to help in clan boss and everywhere else. That's just going to, make her super tough and help with everybody else staying alive. Probably make her a little bit faster too. I think her base speed, yeah, right now it's only 100. I think that jumps up a bunch, either when I get her fully ascended or when I get her fully leveled. Either way, that's going to be a really nice thing for her too. So lots to like there. But yeah, right now I'm just grinding food. You can see, look at all these 4-stars I have going on here, right? I got a few 3-stars. I've clearly gotten a few champions from grinding campaign as well. But I also have a bunch of champs, a couple champs in the vault here. So these are all food right here. These 3 champions, I'm ready to rank up and take the 5-star so I can feed them into Elva. So I got 3 prepped and ready to go. I'm really just looking for 2 more. And you'll see I actually have in the reserve vault, these are all champions that are going to be part of the rosin fusion, these 4. So I definitely want to hold on to them. But I also pulled a metal shaper, which I'm like, oh, this is great. He's going to make the Scarab boss in Doom Tower easy peasy. Well, maybe not easy peasy, but very doable, because he puts a shield on everybody every 2 turns, which is ridiculous as a cooldown. So he's definitely turned into a keeper, right? Like, that's somebody I want to hold on to, because he's going to make one very particular part of the game accessible that otherwise I probably wouldn't be able to do. So that's going to be, I think, really, really big for us. I have a metal shaper on my main account, so I'll give you an example of how valuable he is. So that, I think, was a great pull, and I'll definitely be holding on to him. I probably won't take him any higher than that until I hit a Scarab boss. There's no need for me to do anything else with him until then, but for right now, he's going to be good to hold on to, right? So at the moment, I'm just trying to rank, I got these 3 that I'm ranking up, trying to get them to 40. And then after that, it's about getting food to rank them up even higher. I did pull a Valerie, and I started leveling her. Partially I was thinking about Scarab. Partially I've been thinking about Clan Boss a little bit, and I don't think it's a bad idea to have champions that I will be able to use going forward ready to go. And she has a buff extension ability on her, was it A3, I want to say? Nope, A2. Increases the duration, decreases the duration of debuffs on all allies. That's actually kind of nice if there's a stun involved, but also increases the duration of all buffs on all allies. So that alone can enable like a 2-1 ratio team. It can help me with Elva, making sure that we have block debuffs on everybody for the full fight. So there's a lot of positives with having a champion like that. Now, she's obviously, one of the worst of the options that are available in this game, but she's a rare champion. She's a farmable champion. I don't really need to worry about, finding her. I think she's also part of the rosin fusion. She's part of one of the fusions. So holding on to her for right now isn't a bad thing. I have her at 4-stars. I'm probably not going to try and get her any higher than that right now until I know there's a team that I need her to build towards, right? And it might be that I end up feeding her along the way. I'm not too fussed about it. But one of the things I'm discovering, I don't know if you guys are finding the same thing, But I'm discovering that when I'm going through faction wars, I don't have quite enough champions. Not quite as many as I would like to have, right? And so I'm finding that, yeah, I can use more champions. It's not a bad thing to hold on to a fair number. And so typically in the past, when I would rank up stuff, I would rank one person to 40 and then 5-star that one champion and just sit on them as food. I'm going to take this as a different approach. I'm going to rank all the champions I need to get the 5-star to 40, and I'm going to leave them at 40 until I have enough food to get them all the 5-star. Because in the meantime, they're super helpful for faction wars. Even if it's just 1 or 2 stages, 1 or 2 stars that I'm adding, that's a help. It's not a small thing that I'm getting here, right? So I think that's actually, I mean, I don't know, but personally, I feel like that's going to be a better approach for me and something that I should be, trying best I can, right? And so that's kind of my goal right now, is to approach it in that way. And hopefully we're going to have more success than, I would otherwise. That's kind of the idea here. This is kind of silly that I'm doing it this way. Oh, that's not what I want to do. I figure I can actually clear this with 3 champions and not lose one. This probably makes more sense to do. Get an extra star in there, right? So maybe we'll go back, get a few extra stars along the way here. But yeah, so the idea right now for me is, we're going to grind up some champions. We're going to level up some champions, but we're also, not going to dispose of them as fast as maybe I would otherwise, with an eye towards the rest of the content in this game. The fact that I can, do more stuff, having more champions available to me is pretty good. So that's definitely a change of outlook for me that I think is actually really, really strong and powerful, right? So I'm pretty happy with that. I think that's going to end up turning out really well for us. So that's kind of the next step for me. That's what we're going through right now, and as you can see, it's kind of working. I definitely have a few options in this faction. I don't have those kind of options in other factions, and it's going to make a big difference, right? So just trying to deal with Paragon's unkillable ability. It's so great when it's on your team, and it's so awful when it's on the other team. But yeah, that's the big news. So my goal, hopefully, is by, I don't know, tomorrow's video, maybe the video after tomorrow. So I think you guys will be seeing this on Wednesday morning, right? I'm recording this Tuesday morning. That's usually how this works. So I'm hopeful that Thursday morning for me, 2 days later for you guys, I'll have another 6-star champion. That's kind of my distant goal. That might be asking a lot, but with 500 energy coming tomorrow, I should be able to push, and be able to get that going on. One of the things I have been thinking about doing, which I don't think I will do, but one of the things I was thinking about was potentially ranking up multiple champions. So instead of just having 4 champions ready to go, having 8 or 10, instead of 5 champions ready to go, having 10 champions ready to go, and then I can knock out Deacon and Elva at the same time and kind of accumulate a few more champions on the way. But I don't think I'm going to do that. One, I don't have that kind of patience, and 2, getting a champion to 6-star is going to be a huge boon immediately, and will help me get to that next one and get that next thing going. So that's definitely what I should be doing. There was a arena tournament. Classic arena takedown, and actually did pretty decent. I got to 3rd place here. You can see I was pretty close to 2nd place, but I didn't have any more refills for arena to do it, and it might have been worth it. It might have been worth the 40 gems to try and push and get to that next level, but I was also going to bed. So, and I was afraid someone was going to push and catch me, so whatever. But that means we got a new piece of relentless gear, which is great. Okay, yeah, I get it. Cool. So that's going to be good for us. Hopefully that's going to be really good for us. So we can go check that out right now. Something I wanted to see anyway. So, oh, that's great. Attack boots with speed as a subset is actually really nice. Accuracy is fine, I guess. Attack percentage. Okay, so half of these are trash, but right now they're 5-star, and the boots seem to be pretty solid. So that's at least something I can hold on to. Sometimes a relentless set, regardless of the stats, is more important than not, but Also, sometimes that's not the case, so we'll see how that pans out. Probably most of that I'll end up selling at some point here along the way. It doesn't seem to be super useful. Well, we got this guaranteed extra legendary event going on. This is probably just ending by the time you see this video. You know, I've seen a lot of arguments that this is one of the better things to pull on, especially depending on when your pity system is at. So tracking your pity is, I think, really, really helpful, but we'll see what that is about. I'm desperate for another poisoner. Desperate for one. Can't contain how desperate I am. So I went in the market and I bought an Outlaw Monk. 39,000 silver, well spent. So now I'm trying to level him up. I used like one early key today. Red Affinity Clan Boss, absolutely the worst. But I did use one key today, but I'm hopeful I can rank him up to maybe 40 or 4-star, maybe level 40, before I attempt it today. And I think if I do, that'll be great. I'll probably end up taking Outlaw Monk to 5-star until I get a better poisoner to add. But he just brings... he's going to bring so much more damage than right now Elhain is doing for me. I think it's going to be really important to bring in and really helpful, right? And he's going to pair really well with Venomage as well. So there's a nice synergy that goes along with that. So this is one of those things where, as much as I don't like common champions or uncommon champions, and I'd really like to get somebody stronger, in the meantime, I think he's going to be great for me. This is where I would really like to have myself a Kale. I think would be really, really useful. And yeah, I'm still doing Palace of Aravia for farming, and I'm just not getting any drops, right? I'm not getting the 5-star speed boots. I'm not getting the 5-star chest pieces or gloves with appropriate stats on them. I'm getting a couple, but not enough. And I need that kind of base foundation of gear to level up. I feel like that's going to be really, really helpful for me. So I don't really have a problem farming at this stage. You know, I think we've established that Rhonda right now, without being fully ascended, without being booked, without having really great gear, and I think that's actually the most important part, she's not really able to farm 12-3 very effectively right now. I know she can do it. I've seen her do it, and I've had seen plenty of people in my comments have told me that she can be a great campaign farmer for me. So I have no regrets about ranking her up over, you know, somebody else, but there is going to be a little bit of a, you know, need to kind of pay attention to that part of it. Hey, just a friendly reminder, if you haven't already, take a moment and hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell so you don't miss the next one of these videos that comes out. And of course, if you guys need help with your account, you can go to my website, DeadwoodJedi.com, where I'll be happy to look at your squad and make whatever improvements are needed to be made. But, you know, when I'm doing that, I still want to play my own account. That's why I use BlueStacks, which you'll find linked down below in the pinned comment and description of this video. BlueStacks is a great way to run multiple instances of the game on your computer at the same time. And if you enjoyed today's music, we have that Soundstripe link down below in the pinned comment and description of this video as well. Use code DeadwoodJedi, save 15%. You know, another thing, this Deck of Fate thing, as annoying as it is, because you keep getting the different symbols, it's kind of cool. You know, just get bonus stuff here. It's not like great things or anything, but like I'm literally just doing what I do normally, and I'm able to get some extra stuff. I do like that. And it's been, and you know, flipping the right cards has such a bigger impact on this account than it would on my main. It's like, oh, this is actually kind of neat. I just wish I was better at it, right? I wish I was actually flipping the right combinations at the right time. That's the only part that's really annoying with it. There is one other thing going on. There's a artifact enhancement event going on right now, and I wanted to point out something. This is a very obvious thing for those that have played the game for a long time. If you've been a free-to-play player for a while, you know that the one thing you do to prep for these is you get your gear to level 15. Get your gear to 15, because then all you need is one level and you get all the bonuses, right? I mean, that costs all my silver, but now my Deacon got really fast, and that becomes a major improvement for my team, right? And I have a few, I have a couple pieces that are like this, that are at that 5-star threshold here. No, I ran out of silver. Good times. So I'm gonna have to get more silver. Classic fail on my part. But once I do get more silver, that becomes something a lot more viable here. So I'm pretty, you know, this is one of those things that I'm looking forward to. By the way, these are all like HP 5-star boots. I really don't even need them. Attack boots, defense boots. I'm probably gonna end up selling all of these, to be honest with you guys, because I don't think they're gonna be useful on my account. Actually, the defense ones I like to keep. I used to use defense boots all the time when I was doing clan boss when I was first coming up, right? Even farming, boots like this, I found it to be pretty helpful, but I don't know. I don't know exactly how helpful that is, but we can try and get another one of these up. But the thing is, when you take a gear piece from 15 to 16, it gives you a ton of points towards those artifact enhancement events, and really valuable. So that's one of those things where it's like, I'm going to try and be as patient as I can, ranking stuff up here, before, and just not do it before I need to do it, essentially, is what I'm saying. So that's kind of the goal here with this system, and it works really well. When it works. It's not working for me at the moment, but when it works, it's really great. But like you can see here, I just did that, already moving up here, got a little energy, got a little brew, and we're starting to, continue to move up here. Now, am I going to get like to this top level? No, I don't think so. It's way too early in my account to really get that, but look, for doing what I would have done normally, I get an extra 50 energy, extra 75 energy in a little bit here. That's going to be a huge boost for my account. So it's definitely something that I want to kind of maintain that approach to things as best as I can going forward. So that's, just one of those things you kind of keep in the back of your head, you think about, you work with as you're moving along. It's, that efficiency part of the game, right? Trying to be as efficient as you can as you're going through it. But right now, it's just the grind, guys. It's just the joyous grind. I'm almost there with the accuracy. I love the debate on Great Hall. Do you do accuracy? Do you do crit damage? I know Hades, for example, is doing crit damage, right? And I think there's a very strong argument to be had both ways. I have no criticism either way. I've always been on the side of I want to gear my champions as easy as possible. And so having accuracy in the Great Hall, I find, is a huge boost for me. Especially, the argument against it is obviously there's so much perception gear out there. And I'm like, that's very true. But the great part about having accuracy as your Great Hall is it will enable you not to have to put banners of accuracy on your champions all the time. That's a huge boost. It also means you don't have to use perception sets all the time. That's a huge boost. So it really can open up the build options for you. Now, crit damage might be the most optimal. You get so much out of it, so much more damage. It's straight damage. Can't get angry at that, right? But for me, I think accuracy is, making my champions easier to gear. And in these early parts of the game, I think making my champions easier to gear is way, way more valuable. But that is just me, and no knock on anybody that goes a different direction with it. I totally get that. But for me, having an extra 15 or 20 accuracy is going to be more impactful than having an extra 4 or 6% crit damage right now. And so that's just, for right now, that's going to be the biggest thing. At the moment for Clan Boss, I'm not getting much out of raw damage for my champions. Like, that just won't be a factor for a while. So, crit damage gloves are a dream at the moment. The best I can do is crit rate, which is great if I can do it, But typically, I'm going to be getting all my damage from things like poisons and HP burn. It doesn't really matter what area I'm doing, right? So that's going to be more of a focus for me. So getting the accuracy to land those debuffs is really big. And so that's why for me, I always try to go with accuracy over crit damage, but there is a really strong argument for crit damage. Crit damage scales better as you go further in the game, right? So when you're trying to make that transition from, one level to the next, crit damage is going to help you out along the way. But for me, I'm an accuracy guy. That's what I did originally, and it just made gearing so much easier. Not having to have an accuracy banner on like my ally protection champion that also brings debuffs, like a Taragi the Frog or something. Huge. You end up getting another 10,000 HP on your champion. That's a pretty massive boost. Or at the very least, it gives you flexibility in what you want to put on. Instead of just looking at accuracy banners, I'm looking at HP banners and defense banners and some other options there for my team. I don't just need perception sets. Maybe I go stalwart instead. Now I got the bonus accuracy to make up for the lack of an accuracy set on my champion. So There's more than a few ways to skin this cat, as one might say. It's a horrible phrase. Horrible phrase. Who says skin a cat? Who, like, why? Where does that come from? I need somebody with like a language etymology to like break that down for me, or maybe not. I don't know if that's like gonna be too graphic. Anyway, this is where we're at right now. So it's a solid spot in the game, but it is like that transition spot, right? We're not at that high level just yet. We're moving there. We're getting there. We're starting to, grind our way to the right spot. And at this moment, all I'm doing is just grinding campaign. And I don't really mind because, we have some things opening up, right? We are level 40 right now. But we have, I think Hydra opens up at 45, right? That's going to be really big. Altar of Souls opens up at 42. There's a few areas of this game, right? We got Iron Twins opens up at 42. So we got a few things kind of opening up in a little bit here. We did unlock the Sand Delve Necropolis. I haven't tried this too. Would you guys like to? Shall we give it a shot? Shall we see if we have any chance of doing anything here? Answer's going to be no, I'm pretty sure. We could probably get through the first stage, I'd imagine. Maybe. I don't know, guys. But yeah, this is it. It's right now, I've unlocked so much of the dungeons for where we're at. I can actually farm reliably Dragon Stage 15, which is really good. I'm actually able to get some decent gear pieces out of that. And so right now, my main goal, get those champions to 6-star so that I don't feel like I have to keep grinding campaign. I'd like to start grinding dungeons. I want to get better gear, but in order to do that, I need to get these champions ranked up first. And so right now, the majority of my energy when I'm not, trying to entertain myself by doing new pieces of content, the majority of my energy is going to be geared towards doing the campaign, towards getting my food ranked up, to getting my champions ranked up. I got Deacon, I've got Venomage. Once I get those two ranked up, and Elva, excuse me. So I got Elva, Deacon, and Venomage in that order that I'm going to be ranking up. And once I do that, then I can start spending time in the Minotaur dungeon, getting my masteries for Rhonda, getting my masteries for Venomage, and I can start spending the rest of my time doing, dungeon runs. I don't really have to come back to campaign nearly as much, right? There's a never-ending, request for food, but really I just need my 5-man team for my content, right? 4 of these champions are being used really well in arena, right? Maybe I'll get Elhain up to 6-star. That might be something that I need to do, or at least another champion to kind of help fill those roles. I do have Ugo, do have Frostbringer. These are champions that I would like to rank up at some point. So there are other options for champions I'm going to want to bring in and rank up and whatnot. But right now, it's got to get these 4 going. Once I get these 4 going, it's going to open up a lot of content for me. It's going to open up a lot of, what I can do out here. So that's my priority. So it's gonna be boring for a couple days, kids. It's gonna be boring. It's not gonna be super enjoyable at the moment, but part of that grind is what it's about, and it's exciting. When you do pull. When you pull something off of the campaign, it's nice getting, get an heiress out of just campaign farming, and it's nice when you can start ranking some champions up. Actually, it feels really good, and I think we're pretty close to that point. So, if I'm really adventurous, maybe we'll get there by the end of today. I get that energy in a few hours, and then hopefully I can keep grinding, and maybe actually we'll get Elva up to 6-star, which would be absolutely massive. But even if not, that's okay. We'll keep the grind going and get ourselves prepped and ready for when we do. So I'm really excited about that. Anyway, that's pretty much all for today, right? Just a simple review of what we're doing. We got some artifact enhancement, enchantment event, kind of notes there for you guys. I don't know if that's helpful. It's fairly common knowledge within the free-to-play community, so I don't know if it's anything new. We obviously can't do Sand Devil yet. It's stupid hard. So that's, its own other thing, but, yeah, we're grinding, we're getting there. I could probably push Force Keep. This is one of the things with competition. How bad do I want to be at the top of the leaderboards? I could push Force Keep, and I think we could probably get pretty close to 15, probably unlock 13, successfully. And that might be worth doing. Maybe we'll do that. All right. Well, that's my new. We're going to see if I can't do that today. I'm not going to stay here with you guys with it. I'll try and let you know if we get there tomorrow. But yeah, You know, I feel like we're making progress. We're pushing forward, and things are going good. So anyway, guys, thanks so much for sticking around. Till next we meet, I'm the Deadwood Jedi.